Hey folks, Adam and Amy here from World's Greatest Adventures. We're going to talk about the top 10 bargains, values, and deals in fantastic Las Vegas. But before we get started, go ahead and leave a comment with your email address and I can tell you how you can get free airfare to fantastic Las Vegas.
How much did we pay the last time we went to Vegas?
For airfare?
Yeah.
We didn't.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead, check it out, and kick it off right about now. So Amy, did you want to tell them about the 80-20 rule, which is going to be the basis of this list?
Okay, so the 80-20 rule is kind of a concept in business where basically 80% of your outcomes come from 20% of your effort. And I think this rule applies very much to Las Vegas as well. That you can have basically 80% of the fun for only 20% of the budget. And we are going to show you how to most effectively use your money, your resources, and your time to have the maximum amount of fun in Las Vegas with a relatively small amount of your money.
So let's go ahead and kick it off with number 10. And this is one of my favorite experiences in Vegas. It's the Fremont Street experience.
You love this. So if you're not familiar with Las Vegas, you probably think of Las Vegas as being the Las Vegas Strip. And that's definitely the most iconic part. However, downtown, old school, original Las Vegas is still alive and happening, and honestly, maybe better than ever.
Yes. Now, one of the things I like so much about Fremont Street, there's no admission. It's walkable. You can go from casino to try your luck at different venues. You're not at a mega resort that you're stuck there. But also, there are free shows starting at 6 p.m. And you know, I've seen legitimate, real big-time bands perform on Fremont Street. So you can go to their website and you can check to see when the big bands are performing, like legitimate touring bands, and they give free shows throughout the night. They've got local bands and pretty talented artists that are performing there. But on top of the free shows, every 2 hours, they've got different light shows that are dedicated to famous artists. In fact, they're doing one with Taylor Swift right now.
So, to explain the light shows, they're really immersive, they're really fun. The Fremont Street actually has this really cool awning that goes across the entire street. So when you look up, you're kind of in a almost pseudo-planetarium.
And now a word about our sponsors, BetterHelp.
So Las Vegas is a city that never sleeps. And sometimes, as a small business owner, I feel like I can relate to that sentiment a little too well. Running a small business and media company has been an incredible journey, but it's been the constant grind. I find myself working 12-hour days, 7 days a week, and it's starting to take its toll on my well-being. I'm always focused on a new task, new client, new deadline, and I rarely take a moment to slow down and enjoy life. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of entrepreneurship, but I've come to realize that neglecting my mental health is not a suitable way to live. I know that speaking to a therapist would be valuable in helping me find a better work-life balance and rediscover the joy in my daily life. That's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they offer online therapy that's tailored to meet your needs. You can connect with a licensed therapist to comfort you in your own home through video chats, phone calls, and even messaging. They have a network of over 30,000 therapists, so you can find the right fit for you. And if you're not satisfied with your therapist, you can easily switch it up at no additional cost. I'll put all the link information below, and there's even a special discount for your first month of therapy. Your mental health is worth investing in, and that's where BetterHelp can help you. It's time to get started. All right, folks, now let's talk some more about Vegas.
A ton of fun street performers. Some of them are really, really impressive, and other ones that are just super fun to get a photo with. You know, people in your favorite character costumes. Our friend Watson got some pictures with Mickey to send home to his kids because that's their favorite. So lots of photo opportunities, lots of fun street performers, and again, all of that is absolutely free.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about that Fremont Street experience, that dome, is it used to just be lights. And then they upgraded it to lights that could kind of show pictures, then LEDs, and now it's pretty much an immersive full screen. So make sure to check out the free show above, the free music, maybe check out the street entertainers, And of course, included in this, right next door is the container park that you love so much.
Oh, the container park is super fun, and they also have I think it's called like the container park stage or something along those lines, and they have free concerts all the time as well. Lots of free seatings. There are tons of food trucks or container food trucks, whatever you call that, container truck
Ship
foods.
containers.
Yeah, that have food in them, and it's a super fun park to go to as well. But again,
Free admission.
totally free admission, free
Usually have live
concert,
music.
free concerts, free entertainment, and it's super fun.
Yeah, we actually met some people there, hung out, watched some shows. A very good place to just chill out and relax. So check that out as well. So number 9 is not an absolute free experience. But it was my favorite experience, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. Not dirt cheap, but Gorilla Sushi.
Yes, this is a perfect example of the 80-20 rule at play, where I'm saying that spending a fraction of the cost can sometimes get you almost all of the value. So we did 2 buffets in Vegas last time we were there. First, we went to Gorilla Sushi, and we're gonna tell you more about this place. Absolutely incredible. It's all you can eat sushi. It's not a buffet. They send it to your table, whatever roll you order.
You can order half rolls, so you can try just about everything, and they're high quality.
Oh my goodness. Some of the best sushi I've ever had in my entire life. Great service, and they just added a Korean barbecue as well.
Yeah.
So that's included to where it's just unlimited fresh Korean barbecue, all the sides, everything that you could possibly want, and it was absolutely delicious.
Now, it is located off the strip, and that one was a fraction of the cost of the one that we went on the strip, which was great too, which was the Bacchanal buffet. So, do you remember how much the Bacchanal buffet was? You paid.
The Bacchanal buffet is over $100 a person. I don't remember exactly, but by the time you end up paying tip and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
it
it's
ends
like $120 to $150 a person.
This at Gorilla Sushi, less than half the price at like $49 a person.
Depending on when you go, there's some cheaper deals during lunch, dinner. It's off the strip.
Yeah.
But as the buffets go, it's an incredible bargain. If it was on the strip, I bet you that sushi buffet with Korean barbecue would be $120 a person.
Right.
Off the strip, if you're willing to take an Uber, take your rental car, $50. This was my favorite experience. I could eat there all day, and I'm not a buffet person, but I loved it.
So I'll tell you, I probably, would I ever go to Bacchanal again? That's kind of the most iconic, highest rated Vegas buffet. Would I go there again? Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm not itching to go by any means necessary. I'm glad I checked that off my Vegas bucket list. We did it. It was cool. It was fine. It was a great dining experience. However, would I go back to Gorilla Sushi?
Oh yeah, several times.
Do I think about that regularly?
Yep, I do.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so number 8, we're gonna move on to a decision you need to make going there is where you're gonna stay.
Ooh, yeah.
Now you can, if you're going with a group, sometimes you're gonna get a mega suite, and those are fairly expensive.
Right.
Or if you're going with a group, everyone gets their own room. And with the prices in Vegas now averaging over $250 a night on average.
That's for a
If you have 5 people going, that gets very expensive.
Right.
So we recommend if you're going with a group, or you want a little bit of space, you got your family, you want to eat in your, go get an Airbnb. Airbnbs currently start at around $60 a night. They can go up to $1,000, but a lot of them in that $100 to $300 range. So instead of everybody getting a $250 room, go get an Airbnb with 4 or 5 rooms, have a kitchen.
Yes.
It'll have, you can pick out if you want a pool or a pool table, or if you want it on a golf course. It's not gonna be on the strip necessarily, but there are some that are on the strip. There are people who rent out their timeshares and their condos up literally in MGM and on the strip.
Right.
But the last couple times we've been to Las Vegas, we got an Airbnb.
Out in Henderson.
Beautiful
Not too far.
experience.
Absolutely great. With pool tables and putting greens and sometimes a pool, your own kitchen is a really great thing to have, because sometimes in Vegas, the food, even the food that's not that great, can be a little bit overpriced, and maybe you just want to make your own breakfast at home. That's a great way to have your, be able to make your breakfast, grill out, have some meals at home. And also, if you are going in a group, do recommend having that communal housing can give you more time to actually spend with your friends and family.
Yeah.
When everyone has their own individual hotel room, you don't have those little moments where you're kind of like sitting around the fire at night, you're all watching a movie together, you're, you know, making breakfast together in the morning. You don't get that same experience if everyone has their own room. Or everyone has a giant mega suite that's very, very expensive. Doing the Airbnb, I think, is a better way to experience Vegas with a group.
Those mega resorts can get mega expensive when everybody has to go get the $30 buffet for breakfast and everyone has to go to lunch. And sometimes if you're at an Airbnb, you're like, I'm just gonna have an apple and an orange and I'm good to go.
Right.
You can spend fractions on the dollar, have a lot more fun. And I will say that having the Airbnb has forced us to get out into the area, see some of the off-the-strip attractions. That's how we found Gorilla Sushi. That's how we found our favorite, you know,
Other
spa,
places.
other stuff. Whatever you find off the strip, sometimes it's more exciting to see what the locals are seeing. Some of your favorite bars and restaurants wind up being off the strip. A lot better deal. So Airbnb, I will definitely be doing. In fact, we're going to CES this year, the Consumer Electric Show in 2015 or 2025. And it's rooms are like $500 a night, even for the cheapest hotels.
Yeah.
And we're able to get an Airbnb for less than $300 a night. Just smart.
Very, very good idea.
You ready for our next one?
What is it?
Okay, so if you decide you want to stay on the strip or near the strip, and you want to get one of the lower cost rooms, we've got some suggestions for locations that you need to check out.
Okay. Especially because if it is your first time going to Vegas, you might be like, I don't want to stay off the strip in an Airbnb. I want the full Vegas feel. I want like the movies. Tell me where I can get a cheap place like that.
So if you were to go today, now
Okay.
prices change with season and availability, but if you were to go today, the current prices for Oyo, which is the former Hooters hotel, the prices for Circus Circus, Excalibur, and Rio, all either on the strip or very close,
Yeah.
are in the $30 a night range plus fees and taxes.
Right.
That's very reasonable to stay at a mega resort near the strip. Now those are the older rooms, they're not as nice of suites, and you know, maybe they're not the preferred resorts.
But if you just want the location of being on the strip and you don't have a giant budget, those are our recommendations for where you should stay.
No, you be buyer beware. You're paying,
Yeah.
and those rooms, I've seen them as low as $7 and $9 a night plus resort fees and taxes. However, if you just need a place to crash between running to a casino, between going to a party, between going to Hoover Dam, they work.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I've stayed at the Hooters one called Oyo, and yeah, the mattresses were pretty worn out. Appropriate for Hooters. There's, you know, Circus Circus. Yeah, the rooms might have a little hint of smoke to them or whatever. Excalibur, Rio's constantly under construction, and I had to check literally right before this video, is Rio still in business? Because I question their future.
Right.
But if you're looking for a cheap room, those are some of the cheapest on and around the strip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What if you wanted next up, what if you wanted a suite for a discount? What if you wanted that high roller experience for the low price?
This is one that I would actually recommend.
This is what we've done this one a couple times too.
I don't know if I would. I love Circus Circus. I'm the biggest fan,
I've stayed there
and we will talk
several
more
times.
about Circus Circus later. However, I don't necessarily want to stay there, but this I absolutely recommend, and I think it's a great way if you do want your traditional cool Vegas suite with a view and, you know, the multiple rooms and the rainfall, fancy shower, all that kind of stuff. The D.
The D.
The D.
The
on
Detroit, the D?
on Fremont Street.
Yeah. I love that place. I've stayed there 3 times. 2 or 3 of the times have been in the suite.
Do you love this just because you're from Detroit?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's some of the things I like. They've got the owner, his name is Derek. He's there. Like, the owner of the D is usually in the evening sitting at their long bar. They've got, like, the Nevadas or Las Vegas, maybe the world's longest bar. It goes all the way through the casino.
See a really cool guy in a giant cowboy hat.
Just chilling. That's Derek. So you can meet the CEO and owner. It's a family business. On the second floor, they've got retro games where it's those, like, this IGT slot machines and
Real coins, like the real sound, and
the derby with the horses.
little horse track going around. Very,
Old
very
school
cool.
casino on the second floor. You don't get that anywhere else. That's a hard one to find. They've got dancers that dance on the tables, very attractive blackjack dealers, and they've got Coney Island in there. They've got some Detroit, Michigan feel to it. And the suites.
Yes.
The suites, it's a skyscraper of a building. I've got corner suites in the skyscraper, 2 rooms with a bar, with couch, with your TV room and everything, 3 TVs in the main room. $150 a night, $180 a night.
Yeah.
That's a bargain for what you're getting. Now, one of the things about the D, historically, things change by the time you watch this, but historically, if you book a normal room, they'll ask you, would you like to, if you book it with their website, would you like a chance to upgrade?
Yeah.
And if there's availability in those suites, you can say, yeah, for an extra $60 a night. Sure, if it's not being used, I'll take the upgrade. And oftentimes, if it's a non-busy weekend, you can get those suites for just like the regular price, $30 plus an upgrade fee. It's fantastic.
It's a great deal, and again, that is on Fremont Street rather than the Strip. But one of the things that I love about staying at the D and staying on Fremont Street is that it is a lot more walkable. If you want to get out of your resort and walk to breakfast, walk to a different casino, do something different, it's getting harder and harder to do that on the Strip.
Oh, they don't want you to leave their resorts.
Yeah, you kind of have these huge mega resorts. It's not a walkable area. If you want to go somewhere else, like you almost have to take a cab or an Uber or the tram or something, because it's not really safe to walk down the Strip. It's not really accessible anymore. So if you do want a hotel that kind of gives you the option of getting out and about and bouncing around, again, the D is a great choice for that.
If you're on the Strip, all those casinos, all the Strip casinos are owned by 2 major companies. I think it's Caesars and MGM. So there's not real competition, and they just try to keep you in their groupings of casinos.
Right.
When you're on Fremont Street, a lot of those are independently owned and smaller companies, so they are trying to lure you in with good deals, discounts, high winning percentages, fair rules on blackjack, and that sort of thing. And I do like the Fremont Street experience. I like taking my picture with the street performers. I like walking over to Denny's or
I was about to say you like Denny's.
or White Castle. There's even some stuff within walking distance. There's the sign museum. There's some old signs that you can take a picture with. Also, we went to
There's
great
a great
vegan
vegan
restaurant.
Yeah, so it's not just, Denny's and old school casinos and stuff like that. There's actually some really nice dining experiences. There's an alpaca park from the Zappos guy. There's some fun, quirky Vegas stuff that's all really nearby there.
There's also the Heart Attack Grill. I think if you're over 400 pounds or some amount, you can eat for free there. So that could be a real good discount for you, as well as just a lot of stuff to see and do, which we'll get to some of the zip lines and things as well later on. So definitely check that out. You want the next one?
Yeah, what is it?
Okay, you love this one. The Circus Circus mezzanine.
Yes.
You love it.
I do. Circus Circus in general, okay, probably not maybe the place that you want to stay for a luxury hotel accommodation.
By no means.
However, I definitely recommend it just as a fun Vegas activity. It kind of has that really kitschy, campy, old school Vegas feel to it. All the lights, all the fun, all the charm. And of course there's a casino. Of course there is the super kind of circus amusement park for kids or adults or whoever, kind of little roller coasters.
No,
and
there's a
things
huge
that you-
roller coaster indoors. There's
yes.
indoor roller
All
coasters.
indoors that you can do. There's also a completely free circus show.
Acrobats and
So,
everything, yeah.
We
Magicians,
saw
they do a lot of
these
stuff.
awesome twin sister Chinese acrobats doing
They were fun.
absolutely
They were
incredible,
fun.
incredible things. I couldn't
Contortionists.
believe that was a completely free show because it was like a smaller version of
Yeah,
Cirque du
trapeze.
Soleil, but again, it was for 0% of the cost, but it was like 80% of Cirque du Soleil.
And there was like 20 people watching, so it seemed a little more personal.
It
Like
was
you got to meet with the
It was
performers.
super, super fun, but with incredibly talented people. My favorite part of Circus Circus, though, is the Circus Circus mezzanine. And okay, yes, this is probably technically more for kids. However, it's a really, really fun track of carnival games.
Yeah. That are cheap.
oh,
They're $1 each
yes.
or less.
Like, instead of you go to a normal circus, carnival, whatever now, I feel like the games are so overpriced. Sometimes it's like $20 to have like
Hard to win.
3 balls. It's impossible to win. And the prizes are, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Circus Circus Mezzanine is not like this. It is super, super affordable. It's kind of easy to win because they're not conning you. They're not tricking you. You can actually throw the ring on the bottle. You can actually knock down the clown. You can actually like shoot your squirt gun at the whatever, like all of the traditional carnival games. You get to do those and play them, and they're super fun. And the prizes that you win are like ginormous stuffed animals. So all of the big prizes that you see at your hometown carnival that you probably would never get to win without spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to, win that big prize, you can win at Circus Circus for $15-20.
Right. I also want to point out that Circus Circus is one of the few locations on the strip that you can still get free parking.
Yeah.
So that's a nicety if you're renting a car. Absolutely. You want to pay $20 to go park somewhere else at Bellagio or wherever, or just park there for free. You can cut through, you can check out their stuff. They do have like a McDonald's right outside. They do have some fast food available. And one of the cheapest buffets on the strip still remains at Circus Circus. I haven't eaten there since I was a kid. I wouldn't recommend it based on what I've seen the videos of, but if you just want a hearty, like a bunch of American food, country buffet, go for it. It's not awful. It's just not my particular type of buffet.
Right. It's on par.
Some people love it.
On par with like a Golden Corral.
Yeah, they've got a cheap Golden Corral basically in there. So if that's your thing, go check out their cheap buffet. That's an option too. You want to hear a little known fact about Circus Circus?
Tell me more.
A little bit of trivia for you. It's the first place I ever gambled.
Oh my goodness.
My parents took me to Circus Circus. I played in the mezzanine. I was probably in kindergarten.
Wait.
What?
You can't admit to this on YouTube.
I think there's a statute of limitations.
Okay, statute. Okay.
There's a statute of limitations. I think I put a few quarters in the slot machines when I was 5. You just snuck in and...
You lived a real life Vegas vacation.
My sister was 16 and she gambled the whole time.
First time I went to Circus Circus, I actually threw my possessions out of my suitcase to make room for these stuffed animals I bought for my dog. Or not bought, but won and brought back for my dog.
She was so excited. At the time that you went,
yeah,
you weren't flush with money.
Yeah, no.
So when you were like, I can play games for next to nothing, and I can win prizes for my dog for next to nothing, this is my vacation.
I loved it.
And yeah, I think you were competing, you were winning, you had a great time.
It was very fun.
Same thing when I was a kid the first time I went, because you do win a lot of stuffed animals for practically nothing there. I feel like they're not in the stuffed animal business, they're in the gambling business.
They're just trying to get you hooked early.
Right? So I went and I played all the games and I had an entire suitcase full of stuffed animals ready to go. When I got home, only 2 of them made it. My mom is still not admitted to what happened to those, but I feel like there was just not room in the suitcase. That's just my guess. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Mom, I love you. So, you want to tell them about Easy Rent as our next stop on the list?
Okay, so Easy Rent is a car rental service, and there's probably a few others that you can find that are similar, maybe on Expedia or Priceline. Basically, if you hear a car rental service and you haven't maybe heard of it before, it's not one of the big names, chances are it's an extra tram ride or bus away from a shuttle away from the airport.
Extra free shuttle away from the airport.
So it's a little bit off. It takes a little longer to do, and it kind of is probably going to be in a little bit of a sketchier mobile outbuilding. Maybe take a little longer.
Non-permanent building. You're not really selling this, but
I'm selling
it's cheap.
Because the point is, it's very cheap.
It's the pretty much the cheapest around.
Yeah, so under $30 a day, you can get an SUV from Easy Rent or equivalent company. Just know that you might be a little bit away from the airport, and it might take you a little longer, and you definitely are going to need to verify that you have full coverage insurance and that you're not going out of state. So if you're not planning on going out of state,
and you already have full coverage,
do already have full coverage,
you need a cheap car,
and you want a very cheap car, use Easy Rent.
Okay. If you're interested in one of the major companies, Budget currently, as of the day we publish this, it's about $35, $30 a night too. So Budget's a very good price, and they're a little more legitimate. Enterprise also giving good deals. A little bit higher end experience is going to be Avis, but if you're looking for the bottom of the barrel, cheapest way to get around Vegas and you want to rent a car, Easy Rent is definitely economical.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that. I think next time I'm going to try to aim for maybe a budget. That way because when you land in Vegas, the airport, there's one shuttle that takes you to the first group of rental cars, and then one that takes you kind of deeper into Henderson or into Vegas.
Like the off-Broadway
Near
version.
the off-Broadway. I'm going to try to stay at that first stop, which is the name brands like Budget and Enterprise.
But
yeah,
if you
get some good
want
prices.
to save some money and you have a little extra time, definitely go to that second stop and get a really great deal. I say just under $30. That's because we actually splurged for a larger SUV, and it was during one of the most busy weeks of
you
the
can get stuff
year
for like
in Vegas. You can
$18,
probably get it
$20
for
a night.
a lot cheaper than that currently, just to compare prices.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think they make their money on charging people a lot for insurance. But if you already have insurance, you can use them.
Yeah.
I think I used them to rent my first convertible Mustang when I was like, I might want to rent a convertible Mustang because I might want to buy one. And I
One
rented
time
it
we
in
rented
Vegas.
a Jeep too, and that was really fun.
Yeah,
that was fun to take the Jeep through the desert.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, that was a four-wheel drive, like not a Cherokee. That was a Jeep.
Yeah, like a Wrangler. Yeah.
So next up on our list is going to talk about the difference between Uber and Lyft and taking a taxi from a taxi stand.
Yeah, so this is pretty easy and straightforward. When you're in Vegas, you are going to see a lot of taxis. You're going to see a lot of
Taxi
as
stands.
soon as you walk out of any resort, any big restaurant, any concert venue, there's going to be a line of people waiting there, taxis waiting to take you to your next location. It is hyper convenient. It's wonderful. However, if you would like to save 20 to 30%, I highly suggest ordering an Uber or Lyft. You're gonna be able to save that money because it is just 20 to 30% less than the taxis. So you might have to wait 5 to 10 minutes. You might have to go around to a different part of the building or wherever, but if you wanna save a few ducats, I think that that's a great way to do it. And kind of don't be fooled if it's your first time in Vegas thinking that that's the only way to get around is to take these big suburban taxis that are waiting for you like a chariot outside of your casino. You can still use Uber, you can still use Lyft, and it's probably a little bit more economical.
Yeah, I really enjoy Uber and Lyft because you see the price before you get in, and you're not negotiating with someone or at their discretion that they're not running up the meter on you.
Yeah, exactly. It is a little bit more straightforward. You don't have to worry if you're new in town that somebody's gonna take you around the highway and charge you more because you don't know where you're going and you don't know the best way to get there.
Okay, so Bellagio, Botanical Gardens, fountains, and the attractions at the mega resorts. You want to talk about that for our next topic?
So there are a lot of free, really fun things to see at the mega resorts in Las Vegas. Probably the most iconic, the most famous, of course, are the Bellagio fountains. They run at different intervals, and you can, of course, always look that up on their website, but sometimes it's every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes, depending on the time of year. You're going to be able to see this really fun fountain show. But that's not the only thing you can do at the Bellagio. They actually have a conservatory as well that's totally free, and it's beautiful. It's like a gorgeous botanical garden. It's absolutely incredible. Aria as well has some gorgeous things to see. Even Planet Hollywood on the inside is pretty incredible.
A lot of photo ops.
Yeah, photo ops. It's kind of like being in, I don't know, like a weird Caesar's Palace, very Roman, very fun architecture.
The shops at the Venetian canals. What we're trying to say is the mega resorts have a lot to see. Bellagio being one that we wanted to focus on with the fountains and the botanical gardens. But whether you want to go into Caesars and take a picture with some of the statues or see kind of the moving fountains and things, there's a lot to see. So don't discount that as... I've gone to Vegas before when I was younger and pretty much walked to the Strip to see all of the mega resorts' free attractions.
Right.
And you can walk the Strip for a solid 12 hours and not see all of the potential free attractions.
Right. The Flamingo has a free flamingo garden. So it's kind of like a little mini zoo with a ton of flamingos that you get to see. So pretty much every single resort that you go to is going to have some sort of fun attraction that's trying to bring people in, trying to get you to gamble at their casino. So you can enjoy and take advantage of all of those really fun things to see. Maybe things that in my city would probably cost money, would cost admission that you would need to pay to actually get to see that. But in Vegas, they want your eyes so badly. There's Silverton has free like mermaid experiences and a huge aquarium with sharks. I mean, there's really, really fun stuff to do.
I don't even know what she just said, but we're going to go do that next. So, folks, there's a lot of free mega resort attractions that you should check out. Take the tram from one to the other, and you'll have a great time with that. Very exciting. So, last but not least in this, and folks, don't forget to click that subscribe button. If you haven't by now, click that subscribe, all notifications, throw us a like. We appreciate it. It helps us get into the algorithm and get seen more. We do this channel at a loss. We're not making money off this. We're doing it because we like travel and we like interacting with people. So leave us a comment. Tell us, what are your tips and tricks to Las Vegas? What are your scams you think we should avoid? Or what topic should we cover next? Should we give you the top 10 buffets? Or should we give you the off-site attractions? We went to the Alien Rest Stop. We've seen some stuff.
I like that, yeah.
Area 51 type stuff.
We went to some weird stuff in Arizona.
Went to the Hoover Dam.
That was weird.
Well, we went to a monster museum.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that was super fun.
And check out some of those are in videos. So you check out our archive of videos. And don't forget, we do have a membership area that has an archive of some of our, because we've had more adventures and animal trips and videos. And so some of that's in there, as well as sometimes if something doesn't make it to regular YouTube because of copyrighted music, this and that, we throw that in the member section. There's a lot of exclusive and pre-release content in the member section. And we always appreciate it, even if you sign up for a month. It's only like $3 or $4. So, number 1, I love Ziplines. You love Ziplines.
Yeah.
And there are some bargains on the Ziplines. You can do the Zipline on the Rio. I've done it before. You start at the hotel and it goes to the parking garage and it's a seated Zipline. You go all the way back and then they put it in reverse and bring you back. And it's $25. And that's a good price.
That's a great deal. Yeah.
The next up price-wise is Slotzilla, which ranges from like $50 to $70, depending on when you go, et cetera, et cetera. And that goes, or the upper and lower, $50 and $70. That goes all the way down Fremont Street.
Yeah, and it's like you're lying down, right? So you kind of like face first.
There's the top one is face first, and the bottom one is.
Okay, so you get to choose your own adventure there.
Yeah. So depending on which one you do. So that's fun, and of course the Stratosphere has their zip line, and you can do an entire package of all the carnival games. This one isn't as good of a deal, but for locals, the zip line is only like $99, and then if you want to do all the rides and games and admission, blah blah blah, with zip line, it's a little under $200. And again, a lot of the prices are seasonal and change, so you're welcome to tell us we're wrong on the pricing, but they historically change, so I'm just trying to give you estimations of prices.
Right, but basically the point being is if you see the Stratosphere and you want to do some cool stuff and then you get kind of sticker shock at, oh my goodness, that's going to cost me $200, I don't want to spend that. If you want to spend a quarter of the price and still get a really fun zip line, maybe consider the Rio. That's even less than a quarter, but the Slotzilla one is also really awesome.
So I'm going to put Amy on the spot here. And we're going to say, of these tips, and anything else that you know in your history, for your next fun trip to Vegas, where are you going to stay, what you're going to do, what you're going to eat?
Okay. I am going to stay in a really cool Airbnb because I think that is my best way to kind of have room for all my friends, room for everybody there, and get like a really cool, why not get like a really pimp place, you can spend only, even if you want to be on a higher end of an Airbnb budget and do like $400, $500 a night, which again is like a tenth of the price of a suite in Vegas, you can get something that is pretty incredible, like a really, really cool house. So I would suggest, I'm gonna do Airbnb. Okay. I'm definitely going back to Gorilla Sushi because that was incredible. That was really, really, really good for sure. Yeah. Those are my two biggest ones.
Okay, so I'm gonna contrast that. I'm gonna stay at the D.
Okay, all right. You love the D. You love the D.
I've stayed there enough to where maybe I wouldn't, but I'll stay at the D for argument's sake. I will get an Uber and Lyft, and I will take it to. You ready?
Where?
The In-N-Out Burger. We didn't mention it. But the In-N-Out Burger, I feel, is a real bargain in Las Vegas. When you're driving from the airport to the Strip, you can stop off and see the Las Vegas sign, and you'll also see the In-N-Out Burger. And that In-N-Out burger, you can get burgers and fries under $10. They give you a ton of fries.
Yeah.
You like the seasoning they had with that, where they had peppers. You like the peppers.
Yeah, I like their peppers. They were really, really good.
And if your area doesn't have an In-N-Out burger like me, stopping there is fun.
Especially if you're from the East Coast and you're going out to Las Vegas, that's just a really fun, iconic thing. If you've never tried In-N-Out, you gotta do it. It's like, I don't even like burgers and I loved it, so.
Now we could do an entire second list of kind of like the local entertainers that are free or low price. My parents used to love to take me to, there was Fat Elvis.
Oh, okay,
Fat
all
Elvis.
the piano bars and stuff like that.
Yeah, the piano bars and stuff. I don't think he's with us anymore. God rest his Elvis soul. But there's a lot of fun things that you can do there. So let us know if you think we should do a second video dedicated to either buffets, maybe the other shows and attractions. We've done some shows and attractions. I've gone to Penn and Teller. We saw the new
Zombie Burlesque. Oh,
Nope.
Sphere. Also, I didn't know
Sphere,
it.
but-
I was just naming things we've done.
Yeah, I've seen the striptease attraction. There's just a lot to do there, a lot of fun stuff. It was with Holly Madison at the time. I don't think that's not there anymore. But we've done some fun stuff, so leave us some comments. We do appreciate it. Amy, did you have any parting words?
No, just make sure. I think what is their deal with if they comment, tell them more. If they comment, leave your thing and
Leave your comment.
Yeah.
If you're interested, leave your email address. You don't have to leave your email address. This is more for you. It's not like I'm making any money off this, but I can tell you how to get some free airfare. I haven't paid much for airfare like in the last 2 or 3 years because I do it. So we'll give you that. If you're interested, it's just, for me, I like the comments, I like the interaction. For you, maybe you want to know how we get free airfare. But you know, we love and appreciate you. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. And yeah, have a good time in Vegas. I can't wait. Our next planned trip to Vegas is in January of 2025, but we may make a weekend trip before then because we don't like to go too long without going to Vegas.
That's true.
All right, you know we love and appreciate you, and adios, amigos.